Hey guys, Bitcoin Bankers here. We're going to have a bit of a look at the market. It's been really interesting lately. I meant to get one up yesterday, but I've been a bit crook. Very hot here as well. I've got a bit of a fever coming on, so it doesn't make it very comfortable. Anyway, there's been a big move. Let's have a look at a couple of things going on here. I'm going to switch over to my screen. Looking at Bitcoin Cash. We're just going to get straight into it today. Okay. So looking at Bitcoin Cash, let's go to the 4 hour. Let's try it in the 4 hour, and we'll bring it back here. Okay. So these have moved a little bit off because my my time plan is probably a little bit off there. I might try the 1 hour. Refresh it. Yeah, they've moved off because it's, as you can see, I'm just when you change the time scale, it throws everything off, which is a pain in the ass. But I might just get rid of this because it's just moved right out of where I want it to be. But you saw it on the one I did the other day anyway, and that would give a pretty good indication of where things were going. Look, she's basically just gone into consolidation here for some time, going down a little bit. Yeah, there's the there's kind of a resistance right along here that's been going on for some time now. So from at the 24th up to what's today, the 30th, so it's today. And it's just sort of been sitting there for a good 6 days, kind of moving around. Then it's sort of turned down. It's coming to that final support that we have here. Okay, I can pull that across a bit more. Will it go under that? Let's see. Let's see what the timing is on this. So it's currently sitting around the 7.8 as it's retraced right back from the top. She's come down, it's gone up, tried to make a push up, didn't quite make it. Looks like got a bit of a, yeah, didn't quite make it. And now she's just trying to really find her feet now. And I mean, 22.93, that's a pretty good price for Bitcoin Cash, but is it going down further? Oh, looking at this. Maybe a little further down. Let's hope so, because it's a good time to buy in. All right. Just looking at the histogram here, you know, she's come right down, worked its way up, not so low the next time, so let's go high, low. She's sort of then crawled along. There's your consolidation. It's crawling along. It's dropped down, trying to get that momentum back up, and it's just not kind of working out at the moment, is it? And this is obviously responsive to the market that's going on around it with Bitcoin Cash and things like that. And, you know, probably the big fight between Silver Goldman and JSNIP as well. That's probably pulling it down. That's just totally wrecking the markets. No, I'm just fucking around. So we want to see where this is going at the moment. It's still sitting around that 7.8, which is quite low. If she can sort of come down a little bit and recover, break through this line, hit through the line, the resistance there at the 2.8. It might be a whole new Bitcoin that we're going to see. Predictions on this? Nothing yet. It's got to break here. So I'm going to draw these in. It's kind of got to break this zone. All right. It's got to break this zone. And it's kind of got to break up here too. It's got to come past its original sort of highs. So that's the work it's got to do from right down here. You know, can it do it? Excuse me. Certainly can. Certainly can do it. That'd be a good run. Want to be on that train if you can. And so we're looking at, if we can break through this, you're looking at the $4,000, $4,400 Bitcoin Cash. When will that happen? Oh, you got to wait for it to get out of this first. So let's say if it was around here, you're probably looking, well, that date says the 6th of January. I don't think it'll be that early. But keep your eyes on it. Let's see where it goes. Anything could happen. Okay, that's on an hour chart. This one too. There's an hour chart. So keep your eye on Bitcoin Cash. Basically, pretty damn good price to get it at now. I mean, the next sort of level down is around here, which would be the 21. So pretty damn good price to get it. If it goes right down, which I can't see it going to 19, but it could. It very well could. Okay. That means he's going right back pretty much to the start of this whole big run. But like I said, I don't think it'll go to there. It'll just play in this area and then start moving up, I think. So probably between the 21 and the 2250, 2280. Let's see how we go from there. See what happens. Let's see what happens. What's happening with Litecoin? LTC. Lots of things happening with Litecoin. My voice will get a bit scratchy, so I'll have to keep taking drinks. Just making sure. Let's put that on the day. So here we go. My Litecoin analysis is going quite well at the moment. This is where we started off, around the 52. Okay, and we've done our climbs and our big runs. Okay, and now we're doing our retracement. A, B, C, D, E. Moving into consolidation. I think it's still got a little bit lower to go. When it comes down to the 194, I think it's possible. It's definitely heading that way. Look, it could hit this line here and bounce off around the 204 and then come up a little bit higher and then come down again and settle around maybe the 50% mark, 216, 230. That's where I see it going at the moment. If you want to buy in, I'd definitely be looking at probably buying in around the 200 mark, something like that. I'll probably look at it soon. As you can see up here, I got it here. Let's go to my Bitfinex. All right. So as you can see, I'm really keeping an eye on the histogram here. Okay. And so, as you can see, it's come right down. She's moved up a bit, growing up a bit more. It's starting to come near the zero line. You know, once it moves above that, she starts getting bullish again. Okay, but it's still not quite bullish yet. She's still got a bit of that bearish motion going on. You can see back here where it's kind of died off and dropped, and then really lost its sort of momentum there. So, look, it could be coming back to settle. And if we go back to our chart here, probably see some build up. Okay, if we go to the 1 hour, you might be able to see that a little better. Okay, that's what it actually sort of looks like a bit more. Just still selling off, kind of come down, bang. So we're going to have to wait and see. Like you can see, there's quite a bit of selling there. It's still quite low. It's moving bearish again. This is on the hour though. All your different time frames are quite give different images of where things are up to. Of course, you know, you have to realize too that in these waves, I mean, that's over quite a period of time. If you have a look here, that's the 28th to, I mean, this whole dip to the 30th. That's 2 days. Okay, whereas if I went to the 1 hour, so the 1 minute, you know, if we look at the same time frame, let's have a look. Well, it's just massive, you know. I mean, this is just last sort of 12 hours, you know. So the waves are quite a lot smaller. That's why when you're day trading, yeah, you want to be working off this 1 minute and probably the 5 minutes just to see where everything's going, so you can anticipate those waves and that growth and where it's moving to. Okay, and you probably notice that looks familiar to this. Why? Because I'm on the 1 minute. Yeah. There you go. So if we go back to the 1 day though, okay, I'll refresh this. That's what I think we're looking at. Okay, and look, ultimately it might sort of move up here. It's still got a little bit more of that movement to go. We just have to wait and see. It could finish the C and then just start shooting off. Okay. Or it could just go through that whole cycle of right to E, and then it could do XYW, and then continue a little bit more. But yeah, I don't think so. We're getting into January, so everyone's going to be coming back onto the market and getting in fresh to buy. So look, it might just come down to about this point here, around the low 200s, and then start to shoot off. Sorry about coughing into the mic. So that's Litecoin. What else we got? I'd like to show you a couple that I've called as well. Actually, let's look at XRP. I'll show you a Ripple. That's Ripple to Bitcoin. I didn't want Ripple to Bitcoin. I wanted Ripple XRP. Ripple to dollar. Okay, so I've been showing you this prediction on Ripple for bloody ages, and I've been saying it for bloody ages. And while other people are saying Ripple, it's the banker's coin, and even other traders said they jumped out at bloody $1 or something. I think Silver Goldman said, "Oh, I'm out." And that was last week or something, and he was looking for another good position to get in. I don't know whether he did or not. I just stayed in, wrote it up, and look at it now. $2.14. I got in at 23 cents. I did sell out a little bit earlier, I think when it was probably up around here somewhere, because I thought, given my prediction, I was expecting it to stop around the 160. Then I had a look yesterday, and I'm like, oh no, it's going to keep going. But guys, I did quite well off this whole move on Ripple. So if you have a look on the 1 hour, she's just starting to work its way down. Starting to turn at the top here. Look, that could turn and keep going, but I mean, we're maxed out on the if you saw this earlier, I think it might have been on the 1 day. If you saw this earlier, yeah, it was right up at 100% there, man. It was really pumping it, and that was amazing pump. Will this correct and come back down? Well, that's what we're waiting for. Okay, I think it could probably come down a little bit. It should come down to about maybe ultimately around about here. Let's see, probably maybe the 382, between the 382 and the 0.5. I think maybe it'll ultimately come down to about $1.12 to $1.30, and then she'll start to move again, and probably could hit $5 within a few weeks. Okay. Just looking at the way things are, because Ripple is very well set up, and everyone thinks it's the banks to coin. It's not the banks to coin. The banks don't own this coin at all. It's a private coin. Do your research and pull your head out of your ass and stop talking. Stop pretending to follow all this Illuminati shit when you don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I really get sick of people and their misinformed opinions, because they sit there listening to a few people who go on and on with conspiracy theories. Trust me, I know about conspiracy theories. I followed it for years and years and years. Wasted my time with a lot of it, because half of it was just bunk bullshit. But there are certainly powers out there that are trying to manipulate and control. That's obvious. If you can't see that, you're an idiot. But a lot of this stuff is really blown out of proportion by nut jobs with crazy fantasies like old Cliff High. Old Cliff High. I happened to get a glimpse of one of his reports, the most recent one, I think it was, not so long ago, and I couldn't believe how poorly it was written. The grammar was terrible. The predictions were next to nothing. They really didn't explain much at all, and I cannot understand why anyone would pay $100 for that pile of shit. Really, really terrible. I mean, I really can't understand why people are seeing fake things into this, and they're just relying off the interpretations from people who've read them, come on the internet, and then reinterpret it their own way and say, "Oh yeah, it meant this. Yeah, it meant that." It's like, guys, the report is a load of bullshit. Okay, it's totally ridiculous. Anyway, that's my opinion. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but I've done a lot of looking into Cliff High, mate, and the guy is just he's full of shit. Okay, that's all I can say about that. Anyway, I want to show you. Let's have another look at something I did. Maidsafe. Okay. Calculated by them. So I got into Maidsafe. Sorry. Jeez, I think I'm going to have to go to bed soon. Have a good rest. So I got into Maidsafe when it was pretty cheap. It might have been about 33, 36 cents, something like that, around here. And it's growing, and it can pull back, and it's growing. It's taken off, and got right up to $1.40, $1.50. That was on the spike, but technically around $1.13. Okay, and this movement's pretty much happened, most of this since July. All this was happening through the that real sort of back end where everything was sort of pulling back, and then she's taken off again. So I think Maidsafe is a coin to be watching next year. 2018. It'll be a quiet achiever, sitting in the background, and but I think she's looking good. It's in a bit of a current kind of retracement at the moment, and then she'll sort of keep moving. It's just got a really nice natural wave happening there, so I think that's something to consider in your evaluation of whenever you're looking at coins. It's also very cheap, 84 cents. Maybe wait for it to come down and settle a little bit, you know, maybe down to, if she sort of gets down about this level and heads back up, you know, you might want to be looking at that. So that level there would be, its peak, 70 cents, no. Yeah, see how it goes. See how it goes. It's up to you when to jump in. I can't tell you when to get in or out, because that's the hardest thing about trading, is when to jump in and when to jump out safely. The other one I wanted to show you was NEM. Okay, this is on HBTC or Hitbit or whatever it is. Again, I got in probably around here. Actually, I got in at 46 cents right there. That's where I got in on NEM, and that was back in. Well, I got in. Hang on, I got in at this. NEM. I bought NEM probably September, so it would have been around this time. They are 32 cents. Yeah, wow, I didn't know it was that cheap. That's when I got in. Okay, and I've just written it out and let it sit. And off she goes. Gone up to $1 recently, so I got in at 30 cents. It's up $1, so it's up. Currently sitting at 89 cents. So it's currently 3 times what I got in. I think I bought 179 coin. You know, so I might have spent 40, 50 bucks, and that's it. You know, it's gone up, and it's gone up 3 times. So you know, that's sitting nicely. I'm just going to let it sit there. These are long term holds for me. Okay, SIA coin. SIA. Let's have a look at SIA. It's another one I hold. I did have Civic, and I jumped out of that and bought a bit of Dogecoin when she was starting to move. And just as Dogecoin was moving at the same time, SIA coin was moving, and I'm kind of like, what do I do? So I just went into Dogecoin to see how it go. I think I just got a bit more for my dollar at that point. Where did I get into this one? I got into this one around the same time, so it might have been around here. Yeah, August, September I got into this one. So there you go, that's how cheap I got it. Now, it's currently up at 3 cents. Okay, so that's done me quite well too. I think SIA coin I might have bought $20, $30 worth. Really cheap, guys, really cheap. You know, you can get these coins. Still very cheap. 2 cents, man. You know, buy $100 of this. So let it go. Sit it. $100 of this, $100 of NEM, $100 of Maidsafe. Let them sit there for the year. You know, there's $300 if that's all you got. 3 good coins. Yeah, there's probably Dogecoin as well, but these coins are, I think, a little bit better. Civic. Yeah, there's another one. Heaps and heaps of coins that you can look at, guys. Okay. Let's see. What else have we got? What else have we got? Let's have a look at Qtum. I did Qtum the other day. But we'll have a look at it again and see what's happening. Okay, so okay. Now this is just a wild prediction here. Okay, it's really looking strangely crooked on this histogram here, but she's had a big shoot off, and it's starting to sort of cross over. It's going to move back down, so I think it could, probably move like this, which means, or we just got to wait and see, because when you have a look, anything could happen in these markets, guys. When you have a look, why is that off? Oop, there we are. Wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. It's kind of moved out the way, hasn't it? Now, something could come along and it could should have shoot back up, but I don't know. I think it's moved off track, and we'll have to discount that. Okay? We're not quite sure where this is going. Really not quite sure, but it looks like over the day, she's kind of headed down a bit. Still bullish, still in that range, still technically sort of above the 40 and 60% sort of area. Once it gets sort of to 40, you want to consider that it's getting too bearish, but that's the time to buy. unless you're sitting it already, and it doesn't matter. But you know, just be aware that if she's going down, you know, it could be moving to the 29-cent mark. And come that new year, something could turn around, and off she goes. So it's a hold. It is a little bit expensive if you're only got a few $100 and you want to hold something worthwhile. I'd probably avoid this one for now. Oh, hang on. Yep, Qtum, that's right. Let's look at IOTA, and then we might pull it after that. Maybe have a look at Ethereum too. We'll have a look at Ethereum. I'm going to say IOTA. All right. Yeah, we'll try out Impulse Wave. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to have to move that. Move that to 3, 4, 5. If I took it off the wick, yeah, maybe, but not quite. I really don't think that is a good representation of what's happened here. And this is where sort of, you know, relying on the wave can maybe cause you a few problems when you're reading things. You know, to say that it was here and then pull back, well, that's not quite right, is it, really? You know? That's really, I wouldn't see that as, I guess. But we can also see here, A, B, C, and then the D takes off. It just, yeah, wouldn't quite work. So you got to be careful how you sort of layer your wave in those sorts of coins sometimes, and if you want to see where things are going. Okay, so at the moment, look, IOTA is just sort of really building a lot of support around the around this mark here. So that's a $3.40. When they're building support, that's a good thing. Okay, it's a good thing because it's a good point for you to see where it's sort of really gaining its strength, somewhere that it can really hold its a point of value. Okay, as the company or whatever this coin is backing is kind of sort of sitting there, and where people's interest is. Okay, so your kind of resistance line is, I would say, probably around here. Yeah. So we want to see it try and break through that $5 mark at some point. Okay, can really only stay in that range for a certain period. So it's a matter of waiting and seeing how things ride out. Keep an eye on your histogram here. Okay, keep an eye on your RSI and your tools, and see how you go. As you can see, we're sort of moving downward. I think that'll continue to move downward a little bit more. You might see prices around just under the line here, and then maybe a move up. Okay, so just gotta wait and see how she goes. Once it starts getting some better movements, it's just sort of, it's not consolidating. It's just sort of finding its value, finding its feet at the moment, which it's doing through this support line here. Just have to wait and see with that one. Good price to buy for the new year anyway. We'll have to wait and see how IOTA goes. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's look at Ethereum. Where's it? Oh. My voice is getting really scratchy. My throat is getting really sore, so I might have to call it quits shortly. Okay, Ethereum to dollar. Well, Ethereum's looking pretty healthy. A lot of people are talking about some troubles that it's having out there at the moment. I haven't read a lot into this. I don't do a lot of fundamental analysis because I just don't have the time to sit there and read through pages and pages and pages of all sorts of different opinions and FUD and all that sort of thing. There's other things I'm learning at the moment, and I really need to keep my focus on that. Just jumping over Litecoin for a minute. This is Litecoin running. It's still at, let's see, it's starting to hit this point of resistance along here. All right. Yeah, it's a little bit crooked. I'll be right. It doesn't matter. Okay. So it's hitting that kind of resistance there. Okay. Will it pass it? Will it go under? Not quite sure. She's starting to get quite high. And there you go. We're just watching it turn now. Again, this is on the 1 minute, so you're going to see it go up and down through the ranges quite quickly, which is different from if you were watching it on the hour. Okay, so it's starting to turn here. You may head down a little bit lower, so you might want to look at buying. Keep your eye on Litecoin, keep your eye on Bitcoin Cash. That's my opinion at the moment. Okay, keep your eye on those two, and they might be worth looking at jumping into for a little while, guys. Let's have a look at Ethereum. On the day. Again, it had this strange kind of, resistance across the top, and just played there, and then sort of took off. 1, 2, 3. Nah, didn't quite make it. And then, she's consolidating. So, as we've heard, I thought Ethereum seems to be itself seems to be having a few sort of technical difficulties and things. I don't think the price itself is having difficulties, but if you look here, 680, I think there might have been I think I bought it at 400 and something. So, really, maybe she might start moving into a bit of a consolidation phase, or it'll probably drop down. I mean, the next few levels. That's a bit of support. We got resistance along the top at 820, which is quite high. Yeah, and obviously, sort of, we want to see how it's going to play out in that range before we really make any further analysis and see where it's going to go. We got to see where she's going to go. We're going to see how it's behaving. We're going to keep an eye on it. Okay. But the movements are, who else is behind it, and all this sort of thing. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait on Ethereum. I think it's just going to play out in this range for some time, and then we'll have to wait how it goes from there. Okay. One other, Bitcoin Gold. Bitcoin Gold. So Bitcoin Gold's still in this this kind of wedge that's happening here. It's got some good support across the top. There's a good resistance line, if you want to call it that. And let's move it up. So she's got a good steady line as she's moving up. But it's hard to really there's just not a lot of history here. It's really difficult. I think it's going to have a bit more of a down and then an up. Okay, so I think long term she might end up breaking out of this, but I think we might go down a little bit first, and then we're just going to see how it's going to work into that wedge. Okay, let's go a bit more. Okay, because this could really jump out at any time, and I'm expecting that over the next 2 days, when our time scale here. Okay, if you have a look at our time scale. This is for the end of this sort of point of this wedge is around the 22nd. Now I think it's going to make quite a bit of changes before that. So I think even sort of by the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Let's say even the 6th. Let's see where it is then, and then we can sort of make some decisions on where it's going to go. Okay. So anyway, guys, that's it for now. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's come back to me. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope this market update's been helpful for you. Look, there's fear, FUD, FOMO, and farts, and all sorts of bullshit happening everywhere. Keep your mind on the game. Keep focused. It is hard. The hardest thing about trading is what I'm doing here is pretty easy, but the hard part about trading is knowing when to get in at the right time, when to get out at the right time. Okay, if you take some profit, if you can get, even if you're doing it daily, 30-40% is pretty good run, man. If you didn't do trading in the old stock markets and that, which I never did, but I know other people who have, and family and all that sort of thing, they did reasonably well out of it. They're just staggered at the kind of gains and the profits that we can make out of cryptos in such a short level. So the whole sort of baby boomer generation is just really spinning out at how fortunate we are coming into this. So if you're a much younger person and you don't know a lot about the trades, and if you're getting used to 20 to 50% gains a day, that's out of the range, man. It's totally totally different to what the old markets are like. Okay, so don't get too used to them all the time, but play smart, play safe. If you choose to, I really wouldn't use credit cards or put your house against any kind of loans and debts just to buy crypto. It's not a safe option. Use some spare cash. Okay, use some do a budget. Find out what you can spend each week and buy some cryptos. Buy, if you want to look at long-term holds, buy a whole bunch of penny coins, and maybe one or two good ones for like OMG, $15, or $10. Maybe some EOS for long term. If you're totally holding long for a long period of time throughout this year, maybe till August, say, get yourself a wallet, a couple $100, jump on an exchange, get the ones you want. A lot of the ones I showed you today are on Poloniex or Bitfinex. Okay, but Bitfinex is sort of more for trade, like traders and stuff. But I'll try and do a video very shortly about where to get your coins from. And I will keep saying it. It's just a matter of what time I have available to do these things. Okay, so that's it for me. Bitcoin bankers, please like, please subscribe. If you don't like it, thumbs down. If you do like it, thumbs up. And that way other people can find me, and those who don't like me keep putting more bullshit in my comments at the end there. So, look, such is life, eh? Cheers, guys, and I'll see you next time.